أمانة ثقيلة فوليت عليكم ولست بخيركم ولا أفضل منكم.
मैं नरेंद्र दामोदर दास मोदी ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगा।
On 16th May 2014, Prime Minister Narendra Modi won a landslide victory. India has won. Bharat ki Vijay, he said. 282 seats, 17 crore 16 lakh 60,230 votes, and the unwavering faith of a nation. But Modi's path was never destined to be easy. As he rose to power, a crisis brewed. A crisis that would test his mettle only a month into power. In June 2014, ISIS launched an offensive in Mosul and Tikrit. On 29 June, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi announced the formation of the Islamic Caliphate, stretching from Aleppo in Syria to Diyala in Iraq. ISIS, one of the purest manifestations of Islam and perhaps the most brutal, tightened its grip. A grip that would for years to come claim the lives of Kafirs across the world. Through the years, Baghdadi would call on Muslims to stick to the words of Allah and carry out jihadi attacks. On 13 June 2014, ISIS terrorists occupied the ground floor of a Tikrit hospital. In 10 days, everyone cleared out the hospital except 46 Indian nurses, all but one from Kerala. The Modi government had a tough task at hand. There were moments of fear, hours when the rescue team could not contact the nurses, bouts of panic, and finally, after a month of ordeal, the nurses boarded the Air India flight to come back home on the 5th of July. 39 kidnapped Indian Sikh workers, however, were not so fortunate. While the Modi government tried to rescue them repeatedly, years later, their bodies were found in a mass grave, their kadas discarded with them. Only one of the 40 workers kidnapped escaped. On reaching India, he narrated how he was let off by ISIS only after he pretended to be a Muslim, Ali. Harjeet explained how the 39 others were shot in the head repeatedly and thrown in the mass grave. The infidels had been murdered by the jihadis.
रात को मैम 9 का तकरीबन टाइम होगा, 9 का 10 का, तो फिर वो आए इसके लोग हमारी कंपनी में आ गए। क्या 10-15 मिनट हमारे साथ रुके उधर, फिर बोले ऐसे करो अपने बैग पकड़ो तो हमारे साथ चलो, हम आपको छोड़ देते हैं आपके देश में। क्या हुआ, डरे हुए थे हम सभी, तो बोले जैसे जो बोलते हैं ऐसे कर लेते हैं, इनका क्या है, मार भी सकते हैं। उन्होंने पूछा कि जो बांग्लादेशी एक साइड में हो जाओ और इंडियन एक साइड में हो जाओ। जी तो हमने नमाज में उनको छोड़ दिया। हम तो ये सोचते हैं कि जब मैम वो थे ना, वो नमाज पढ़ते थे उधर, तो हम लोग कहाँ नमाज पढ़ते हैं, तो हम तो सोचते हैं इसलिए शायद उन्होंने वो छोड़ दिया कि वो मुसलमान थे।
60 countries across the world came together, vowing to defeat ISIS. Naive in their mission, not realizing that the theological foundation of ISIS is what they considered peaceful. At its height, ISIS held about a third of Syria and 40% of Iraq. ISIS emerged as a faction of Al-Qaeda in 2004. After years of being dormant, it re-emerged in 2011. By 2015, ISIS had spread its tentacles to several countries. By December 2017, it had lost 95% of its territory after the multinational offensive against it, and the USA later announced that ISIS had been defeated. But they had attempted to slay a monster by chopping off its finger. Even after its mythical defeat, ISIS emerged in several nations, including India. A 10-headed hydra, morphing when needed, driven by Islam.
الآن انتهت الدولة الإسلامية ولا لا? Is it over? ISIS finished?
No. Next time it will be in your lands.
While Indians wanted to believe that our Muslim population, the third highest in the world by the way, was untouched by ISIS, reality was far from it. Congress, right after the election of Assad in Syria, was calling for a non-military solution to the Syrian war, talking about the shared civilizational ties and right of the Syrians to choose their own government, even as ISIS tightened its grip. Away from the glare of the government, ISIS was rising. It was not until 2018 that India would know about the conspiracy that started taking root 5 years ago. It was in January 2017 that NIA registered a case against 9 ISIS terrorists, a conspiracy that was hatched in 2013. Haja Fakhruddin, a Singaporean of Indian origin, had joined ISIS in January 2014. He visited India twice between November 2013 and January 2014 under the Congress government when he conducted meetings in Tamil Nadu. The aim? To recruit for ISIS. Co-accused Ansar Minar facilitated Haja and his family's travel to Syria. Haja would later be featured in an ISIS video in 2016.
So it's not about joining the Caliphate because I want to leave India. But, there are 2 ways. You want to leave India or else you can join ISIS. It's not about I want to join ISIS.
Haja's accomplice and friend Gul Muhammad was deported to India from Singapore in March 2014. During investigation, he revealed that college students in Tamil Nadu were already training with ISIS. Congress approached ISIS from the lens of it being limited to the Middle East and a false sense of security. While March 2014 onwards, India was attempting to monitor these jihadis, Congress had no idea how many had joined ISIS or travelled to Syria. In May 2014, as Modi took oath, 4 Muslims from Kalyan, Maharashtra, travelled to Syria. 3 were never found. Majid was arrested by NIA in November 2014. Modi's battle with ISIS had begun. Mumbai High Court gave Majid bail, but he continues to stand trial till date. Interestingly, on 11th December 2023, NIA conducted a raid and interrogated 20 ISIS suspects. The Maharashtra ISIS module just got far more interesting. The kingpin of the module arrested, Saqib Nachan and his son Shamil Nachan. Shamil's brother-in-law was Majid, the terrorist who travelled to Syria in 2014 and is now out on bail. Majid, after he got bail, married the sister-in-law of Shamil. Majid was also questioned recently in connection with the Maharashtra ISIS module, in which his entire family appeared to be involved. Modi was battling not just ISIS, but also its sympathizers. The propaganda continues to this day. In December 2014, British media reported that the most popular ISIS handle on Twitter was run by a Bengali man working in Bangalore, Mehdi Masroor Biswas. He was in touch with terrorists in Iraq and was recruiting Muslims. Mehdi got liberal support even as he showed no regret, calling himself a soldier of Allah. Controversy also brewed after one of the police officers who raided his residence was transferred soon after by Congress government in Karnataka. By 2016, 54 ISIS terrorists had been arrested. The NIA had arrested 36 of them. By 2022, while the Liberals demonized Modi, intelligence sources said that over 150 Muslim men from Kerala alone had either joined or attempted to join ISIS. As recently as October 2023, NIA and UP ATS busted 2 ISIS modules, Pune and Aligarh Muslim University modules, both intricately connected. NIA arrested 4 from Maharashtra. Mohammad Shahnawaz Alam and others, including Arshad Warsi, were arrested by the Delhi police. They were planning 26/11 type terror attacks, were in touch with ISIS handlers, and planned to attack Hindu temples and Hindu leaders. The AMU model was later busted by UP ATS after inputs from those arrested by NIA. Several were arrested, kingpin being a terrorist called Wajiuddin Ali Khan. Op India revealed that Arshad Warsi was involved in the Delhi anti-Hindu riots, where he was intimately in touch with Sharjeel Imam, one of the main conspirators. Arshad Warsi, also called Wajihuddin Amir, and had together with him participated in anti-CAA protests. The ISIS links to Delhi anti-Hindu riots deepened. Violence that was meant to teach Kafirs a lesson and bring the Modi government to its knees as Donald Trump visited India in 2020. As the Delhi anti-Hindu riots raged on in 2020, on 27th February, ISIS launched its India-centric magazine Al-Hind with lawyer Mahmood Paracha on its cover. With pictures of PM Modi, CM Yogi Adityanath, Doval and Amit Shah, the ISIS magazine called upon Muslims to wage jihad against Prime Minister. Interestingly, it spoke in the very language that liberals do. The ISIS magazine said that CAA, which had nothing to do with Indian Muslims by the way, was Modi's onslaught against them. A 2022 edition of Al-Hind asked Muslims of India to terrorize Hindus and take Babri back, seeking a kind of punishment that coming generations of Hindus would remember. They called Hindus indecent and uncivilized. They called Hindus cow urine drinkers and cow-worshipping polytheists. One can't help but point out here that the Pulwama attacker also had called Hindus by the same names, as do the liberals who act as the ideological shields of jihadis, the ones who had whitewashed Shami witness. By 2023, months before the Pune and AMU models were busted, ISIS magazine asked Muslims in India to burn Hindus alive. In one of the chapters titled Bring Back the Golden Age of Crashing Idols, ISIS called Hindus cowards and claimed they were unable to rid themselves of Muslim invaders. The article read, "The humiliation is the ultimate fate of the polytheists," asserting those who worship multiple gods deserve to be humiliated, gloating over what happened to Somnath Temple and other Hindu temples at the hands of invaders. ISIS also spoke about the new violence where Muslim mobs had attacked Hindu pilgrims. Quoting one of the Muslim journalists who was at the forefront of blaming Hindus, ISIS threatened Haryana Minister Anil Vij, who had taken action against the stone pelters. ISIS wanted to bring down the Modi government, kill Hindus, break idols, and turn India into an Islamic state. But it was not just ISIS. Popular Front of India had similar plans. PFI was banned by the Modi government in September 2022. Months before, Op India deconstructed their Vision 2047 document. Just as ISIS, PFI wanted to establish an Islamic state in India, called Hindus cowards, wanted to break idols and commit a genocide of Hindus just as ISIS. And PFI also wanted to overthrow the Modi government. Unsurprisingly, in 2023, ISIS magazine Voice of Khorasan in their 20th edition extended support to PFI and lionized them. While the USA declared ISIS as destroyed and defeated, the battle is far from over. ISIS was a mere manifestation. The foundational theology that ISIS purported is a hydra that will continue to raise its ugly head throughout the world, including India. ISIS cannot be defeated unless the foundational ideology is defeated, for it is the ideology that drives them to rape, murder, behead, and torture. And as the battle rages on between the civilized and the cult of death, the raging jihadis find support from those who wish to lead us.
हिंदू धर्म नहीं है बल्कि एक धोखा है
கொரோனா இதையெல்லாம் நம்ம எதிர்க்கக்கூடாது, ஒழித்து கட்ட வேண்டும். அப்படிதான் இந்த சனாதனம்.
नौजवानों, क्या तुम्हारे दिलों में तकलीफ नहीं होती कि जिस जगह पर हमने 500 साल हय्या अल सलाह और हय्या अल फलाह की सदाएं दी, जहां पर हमने बैठकर कुरान करीम का जिक्र किया, जहां पर हमने बैठकर सलात और सलाम के नजराने पेश किए, आज वो जगह हमारे हाथ में नहीं है.
It is time we say, thus far and no further. They started the war. We will finish it. At least we'll try.